Good morning everyone. Welcome back to grade 3 mathematics class. How are you all doing today? So we have been learning about measurements. Today we'll see a few word problems that involves calculations with measurements of length. We'll see the word problems from exercise 9.3 in your textbook. So all of you please turn to page number 122 in your textbook, and I hope you have your notebook with you. You may note down the questions and the answers in your notebook. So let's move on to the first question. The first question is, the lengths of a bed sheet and a towel measure 2 meter 15 centimeter and 1 meter 50 centimeter respectively. What is the total length of the two items? So what is given in the question? You have two measurements of lengths. The length of a bed sheet and the length of a towel. And you're asked to find out the total length of the two items. Total length means you have to add the two measurements. So how do we add measurements of length? So the first step is to write the given measurements in proper columns of units, and then you have to add the units separately. Now let's see the steps from the data given in the question. So from the question, let's write the steps. Length of the bed sheet is equal to 2 meter 15 centimeter, which is given in the question. Now length of the towel is equal to 1 meter 50 centimeter. So the total length would be length of the bed sheet plus length of the towel. So let's substitute the measurements here. Now that would be equal to 2 meter 15 centimeter and 1 meter 50 centimeter. Now to add the measurements, first let's write the given measurements in proper columns of unit. It will be easy for you if you draw a grid like this for the given units. Here which are the given units? Meter and centimeter. Which is the bigger unit? Meter is the bigger unit. So let's write meter on the left and centimeter on the right. Now we have drawn a grid like this. So the meters, this 2 meter and 1 meter will go in the meter column, and the centimeters 15 centimeter and 50 centimeter will go in the centimeter column. Now where do we start adding them? We start adding the centimeters first. We start adding from the smaller units, then we move to the higher or bigger units. So we start adding the smaller units first, then we move on to the higher units. So in the centimeter column, we have this 15 centimeter and 50 centimeter. Let's add them first. So 5 plus 0, 5 here. 1 plus 5, it is 6 here. So in the centimeter column, we have 65 centimeters. And now let's move on to the meter column. Here we have 2 meter plus 1 meter. 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. So here in the meter column, we have 3 meter. So what is the total length of the two sheets? I mean the bed sheet and the towel. It is equal to 3 meter 65 centimeter. So that is the total length of the two items. I hope this is clear to you. Now let's move on to the next question. The second question is, the height of a building is 19 meter 60 centimeter. If the height of the ground floor is 3 meter 50 centimeter, find the height of the rest of the building. So what is given in the question? In the question, you are talking about a building and it has a ground floor which has got a length of 3 meter 50 centimeter. Now the height of the ground floor is given and the height of the whole building is given. So if this is the building and let this be the ground floor, this height, the height of the ground floor is equal to 3 meter 50 centimeter, and the height of the whole building, which includes this 3 meter and 50 centimeter. The height of this whole building is equal to 19 meter and 60 centimeter. We are asked to find out what is the height of the rest of the building. So the whole thing is 19 meter 60 centimeter and the height of the ground floor alone is 3 meter 50 centimeter. The rest of the height of the building is this part. We have to find out this part or height of the height of this part of the building. How do we find that? We have the total length or total height and the height of the ground floor. So to find out this length, let's subtract this height of this ground floor from the total height we are given in the question, and it will give us the height of the rest of the building, right? So let's first write the steps from the data given in the question. So height of the building, height of the whole building, it is equal to 19 meter 60 centimeter. Now height of the ground floor alone is equal to this 3 meter 50 centimeter. Now height of the rest of the building will be equal to the total height of the building minus height of the ground floor, which is equal to 19 meter 60 centimeter minus 3 meter 50 centimeter. Now here we are subtracting the measurements. So what do we do first? We have to write the measurements in proper columns of units. Which are the units given here? Meter and centimeter. Meter is the higher unit and centimeter is the lower unit. So for the easier calculation, let's draw a grid like this. You can easily draw the grid like this. First you write the meter column, then centimeter, draw a line like this and a line like this. Then from the question, 19 meters, the bigger measurement goes in the meter column, then the 60 centimeters from here goes in the centimeter column, then the 3 meters in the meter column, then the 50 centimeters in the centimeter column. So we have written the measurements in proper columns of unit, then we have to subtract them like this. Now since we have to start subtracting the smaller units first, let's start from the centimeter column. So it's 0 minus 0, 0 here. Now 6 minus 5, it is equal to 1. So in the centimeter column, we have 10 centimeters. Now let's move on to the meter column. So here we have 19 meter minus 3 meter. What is 19 minus 3? It is equal to 16. So we have 16 meter here. So what is the height of the rest of the building? The difference is equal to 16 meter 10 centimeter. So that is the height of the rest of the building. Hope this one is clear to you too. So now let's move on to the next question. And the next question is, the lengths of two ladders are 16 meter 60 centimeter and 29 meter 35 centimeter respectively. Find the total length of both the ladders. So you have two ladders and let this be the first ladder, and what is the length of it? It has got a length of 16 meter 60 centimeter. Then you have a second ladder, and let this be that second ladder, and it has got a length of 29 meter and 35 centimeter. Now you are asked to find out the total length of the two ladders. How would you find it out? You can add both the lengths to get the total length of both the ladders. So let's write the required steps. Length of the first ladder is equal to 16 meter 60 centimeter. Now length of the second ladder is equal to this 29 meter 35 centimeter. Now the total length would be length of the first ladder plus length of the second ladder. So substituting the measurements, we get 16 meter 60 centimeter plus 29 meter 35 centimeter. Now what do? We have to write the measurements in proper columns of unit. So we have written the measurements in the proper columns of units in a grid. See, 16 meter in meter column, then 60 centimeter in centimeter column. Now 29 meter in meter column, 35 centimeter in centimeter column. Now let's do the addition starting from the smaller units. So starting from the centimeter columns, we have 0 plus 5, 5, 6 plus 3, 9. So we have 95 centimeters in the centimeter column. Now moving on to the higher units, which is the meter column. So in the meter column, we have 6 plus 9, which is equal to 15, and we have a carryover 1. Now 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4. So we have 45 meters in the meter column. So what is the total length of both the ladders, the total length is equal to 45 meter, 95 centimeter. Hope this one is clear to you. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question is, Ankit throws a cricket ball at a distance of 29 meter 65 centimeter and Suman throws it at a distance of 16 meter 40 centimeter. Who has thrown the ball farther and by how much? So what is given in the question? See, let this be Ankit and he is throwing a cricket ball and the ball reaches here and it went to a distance of 29 meter and 65 centimeter. Now, what happens? Suman also throws a cricket ball. Let this be Suman and he is also throwing a cricket ball and the ball reaches here and this distance is equal to 16 meter 40 centimeter. Now, you have to find out who threw the ball to a greater distance and by how much. See, you have a measurement of 29 meter plus something and you have a measurement of 16 meter plus something. So, which one is more? Is it 29 meter or 16 meter? 29 meter is the greater distance. So, obviously, Ankit, this is Ankit, Ankit threw the ball to a greater distance. So, how do we find out by how much is this distance more than that of Suman? How do we find that? If we subtract these two measurements, we will get a difference. And that difference will be the answer of how much more that Ankit threw the ball. How much more distance that Ankit threw the ball to. So, how do we find out the difference? First, let's write down the steps. So, from the question, let's write down the distance Ankit thrown the ball at, which is equal to 29 meter 65 centimeter and the distance Suman thrown the ball at is equal to 16 meter 40 centimeter. Now the difference is equal to distance Ankit thrown the ball at minus distance Suman throw the ball at. Why? Because which is the greater distance? The distance that Ankit thrown. So this is the bigger measurement. So we write that first minus the distance Suman thrown the ball at. So substituting the measurements we get 29 meter 65 centimeter minus 16 meter 40 centimeter. So, we have written the given measurements in proper columns of unit. 29 meter goes in the meter column, 65 centimeter goes in the centimeter column. Then 16 meter goes in the meter column and 40 centimeters goes in the centimeter column. So, what is the next step? Subtracting the measurements. So, where do we start? We start subtracting the smaller units first. So, let's begin with the centimeter column. So, in the centimeter column, we have 5 minus 0, 5, 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. So, that is 25 centimeters. Now, proceeding to the higher unit column. So, in the meter column, we have 9 minus 6, which is equal to 3 and 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1. So, we have 13 meter and 25 centimeter. So, what is the difference? It is 13 meter and 25 centimeter. So, Ankit threw the ball farther by a distance of 13 meter and 25 centimeters. So, I hope this question is clear to you. Now, children, you have a homework question today. You may note down this question in your notebook and you have to work it out yourself. So, let me read the question to you. Rachel has a rope of length 40 meter. She gave 12 meter 53 centimeter to Sam, 18 meter 35 centimeter to Ron and 9 meter 7 centimeter to Jack. What length of rope is still left with Rachel? So, in the beginning, she has a rope of length 40 meter. And she is cutting that into pieces and giving them among her friends. So, out of this she gave one part. Let this be the first part. She gave one part of it to Sam and it was of length 12 meter 53 centimeter. Then she gave another part. Let this be part 2. She gave another part to whom? to round, and it was of length 18 meter 35 centimeter. Then she cut one more piece and it was of length 9 meter 7 centimeter, which is the third part. She gave the third part to Jack. Now she has some more length of rope left with her. You are asked to find out what is this length. You have to find out what is this length. So you have a total length of 40 meter. Then you have the length till here. The length of the first part plus the length of the second part plus the length of the third part. That will give the distance or the length till here. And you also know the total length of the rope. Then you can easily find out what is the length of the rope left here. So this is a word problem that involves both addition and subtraction of measurements of lengths. You can do this easily. Now please do this in your notebook. Then you have to take a picture and send us through Teams. And you also have to do a question under the life skills section. It is in page number 122. You can see the heading LS. There is one question given in an yellow box there. You have to go through it also and do accordingly. So I hope all the exercise questions that we discussed today are clear to you. So that's all for today. We will meet in the next class with a new topic. Till then, bye.